Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this year's virtual Governor's Cup event. My name is Alex Hill, and I'm the Vice President of Safety on Team 1073, the Force team from Hollis, New Hampshire. Today, I'll be talking about the keys to a safety culture. Let's get into it. Items on today's agenda include essential equipment, the role of a safety captain, team procedures, and how to improve and uphold a stable safety culture. Essential equipment. A first aid kit is one of the most crucial items in your team's safety repertoire. It should include Band-Aids of varying sizes and qualities, for example, waterproof Band-Aids, gauze pads and bandage tape to hold gauze pads in place, alcohol or antiseptic wipes, nitrile gloves, cold compresses. You always underestimate the amount of cold compresses that you need. Heavy-duty bandages for worst-case scenarios, scissors, burn gel, and Neosporin or a topical antibacterial ointment in order to heal wounds. The first aid kit should be organized and labeled for easy access so the injury is tended to as fast as possible. As you can see here, one of our safety members is attending to a person at Worlds, I think this was 2019, and she was able to easily access nitrile gloves, antiseptic wipes, and Band-Aids because our safety first aid kit, as you can see here, is nicely labeled and organized. Creating a battery spill kit. A battery spill kit is another crucial item to your team's safety repertoire. When used properly, it'll protect you and other members on your team from injuries caused by corrosive battery acid. A battery spill kit should contain baking soda, nitrile gloves, a dustpan, and a brush to keep contact with the battery acid to a minimum, an airtight container, and a bottle of water to dilute the battery acid after it's been placed inside of a container. Once the spill is cleaned up, all waste should be disposed of properly. We keep instructions on the sides of all of our battery spill kits so that if an individual is thrown into a situation that they're not exactly expecting, they have a set of action items that they can really quickly follow. Picking a fire extinguisher. Picking the correct type of fire extinguisher is crucial. You should always make sure that it's labeled as being an ABC fire extinguisher. These different letters signify the types of fire fuel that may occur. A is for wood, paper, cloth, trash, and other plastics. B is for flammable liquids, such as gasoline or oil, and C is for electrical fires. You should always make sure to inspect your fire extinguisher regularly. You should generally maintain your safety equipment once you have received it. How to build an SDS binder. So any hazardous chemicals or materials that the team uses should be logged in an SDS binder. When purchasing a material, it should come with a safety data sheet, otherwise they can easily be found online. The safety data sheet will tell you what the material is, the levels of danger associated with the material, for instance, is it corrosive to skin, and how to treat a situation that includes this material. So for instance, if someone gets this material in their eyes, how do you go about fixing that? Team 1073's SDS binder organizes our safety data sheets in alphabetical order in the back of our binder for easy access. This is just another example of how organization can improve your team's overall safety. More about the SDS binder. We also keep an injury log in the back of our binder, as well as a year-specific copy of the safety manual, COVID-19 incident reports, instructions for other team safety procedures, such as our COVID-19 mitigation practices, and a guide on how to fill out a safety report. The binder should be kept in the pit or in the shop in a location where it can be easily accessed. So our SDS binder is typically kept on our safety shelf in the pit, and it's kept in our safety cabinet in our general team area. The role of the safety captain. A safety captain is the person who acts as the face of your program. They possess a safety-oriented mindset and a natural ability to lead others. They're also the individual who's tasked with the installation and maintenance of the safety procedures and practices among your team. The safety captain should be notified of all injuries that occur during competitions. So to be a safety captain on 1073, you must first go through rigorous training. Now this includes reading the first safety manuals as well as our team safety manual. And you're also supposed to learn and memorize all of the team's safety procedures. All of the safety captains on 1073 are first aid, CPR, and AED certified. I'll talk a little bit more about how you can obtain that certification later in this presentation. So rookie safety captains on 1073 will be monitored in the pits until they've proved that they're fully ready to accept the role, which is kind of like the final test of our training. In the pits, a safety captain is not only expected to monitor their team's pit, but all of the pits in general. They're supposed to be looking out for and preventing possible hazards. Safety captaining at competitions. In the pits, a safety captain will typically wear a safety vest and have a 2-hour shift. Now, I would recommend having either 2 or 3 safety captains on your team so they can switch off during the day. While on duty, safety captains will monitor the area for potential hazards, and when a hazard is identified, such as daisy chaining, crowding, or other problems, the safety captain must fix it while maintaining their own safety and gracious professionalism. So, for example, if someone walks into the pit and doesn't have safety glasses on, the safety captain absolutely would not take their own safety glasses off because that isn't maintaining their own personal safety. And they would ask that individual to, in a graciously professional way, to grab safety glasses from either pit admin or Team 1073 has like a safety glasses bucket. 1073 members that complete safety captain training receive first aid traveling kits and branded belt bags. I love our branded belt bags. Photos of them can be found on our website. More information about that is at the end of this presentation. And we receive these belt bags so that team members can easily identify and notify us if they're injured. Team procedures. Teams should always be looking for new ways to update and add to their safety procedures. Especially during the pandemic, it's wise to follow state-specific guidelines and review COVID-19 case trends if you plan on reopening in order to keep your team as safe as possible. Now, a great way to look at state-specific guidelines is to go to New Hampshire's Safer at Home Universal Guidelines page. It's on the New Hampshire government website, and that covers tons of different safety practices and procedures that your team can take in order to mitigate exposure. During the pandemic, 1073 added new procedures, partly because of the New Hampshire Safer at Home guidelines and research from the CDC for potential case tracking, individual safety, updated shop safety, et cetera, to our safety repertoire. Evacuations. It's always a good idea to establish an emergency evacuation plan no matter where your team travels, either for competitions or events. The plan should describe how to leave the facility and where the designated meeting spot is. A designated meeting spot should always be in a safe area. For instance, you shouldn't have your designated meeting spot by the side of, say, a highway. When formulating an evacuation procedure in an unknown facility, team members should search for fire extinguishers, AEDs, emergency exits, and potential meeting spots. The entire team should then be notified of these locations to facilitate any possible evacuations, as well as to eliminate any anxiety surrounding an unplanned occurrence. So we notify all of our team members through our general forum on Slack. Here's a photo of the evacuation plan at our facility. Now, if you aren't able to access your venue or event center's floor plan, then you can just go on Google Maps and take an aerial screenshot of the facility. Which I've done here for the Hollis Brookline Middle School. Typically, you also want to circle or highlight areas that your team members may be congregating in. So for instance, we have the NPR circled here, as well as the shop, and paths to get to the meeting spot in a safe way. Clothing, accessories, and PPE. Team members should always, team members should know about the requirements concerning clothing, accessories, and PPE on your team. Only closed-toed shoes with a backing should be allowed in the pit and the shop, and they must be tied at all times. Long hair, such as my long hair, shall remain tied back when in the pit or in the shop. Dangly necklaces, scarves, hoodie strings, and other loose accessories are prohibited. So for instance, I have a dangly necklace here that I like to wear, and typically when I go into the shop or our general meeting area, I'd either tuck it into my shirt or I'd just take it off. Face masks covering the nose and mouth should also be worn at all times, even when inside of a building. People often forget that when you enter a building, you also need to wear your safety equipment. So, as you might have noticed, I didn't mention safety glasses. I wanted to put them on a separate slide because safety glasses are a major part of basic safety. All team members are required to wear them in the pit and in the shop. You should consider keeping spare safety glasses stored by entrances to your shop and in your pit during competitions. Now, 1073 has a wall of safety glasses, and obviously during COVID-19, there are some concerns around that, but if you have a rigorous sanitation schedule, this is feasible. Students should purchase their own pair that don't have mirrored or tinted lenses. Per the UL safety manual, you are allowed to have mirrored or tinted safety glasses, but on Team 1073, we don't allow it because we feel that it decreases overall visibility. If the student wears glasses regularly, their safety glasses must fit over their normal glasses or they're required to buy prescription safety glasses. So team members on 1073 also are required to buy their own pair of safety glasses, and they can also customize them. So for instance, I put washi tape or glitter on my safety glasses, and this encourages a sense of responsibility for their own safety, because team members are more likely to wear their own customized personal safety glasses instead of safety glasses that they've just kind of been saddled with. Allergies. You should always keep track of those in your team who have allergies and provide for them by giving optional food and car rides. Furthermore, for longer field trips or competitions, mentors or the student should hold daily medications, EpiPens, and inhalers. So as you can see here, this is the HBHS field trip permission and release form. And here it says to list any emergent medical concerns. Obviously, all of this information is confidential, but this helps 1073 identify and provide for individuals who do have allergies. COVID-19 specific procedures. It's a good idea to update your team's policies and procedures if your team chooses to continue operating during the pandemic, and you should always follow state-specific protocols for COVID-19. Again, the New Hampshire Safer at Home Universal Guidelines is a great jumping off point. Limiting the number of people inside of a space, creating sanitation schedules, et cetera, are some ways that your team can mitigate exposure. If you'd like to learn more about how 1073 is adopting all of these different policies that I've listed here, you can email me. My contact information is at the end of this presentation. But as always, staying home is the safest option. Finally, how to improve and uphold a stable safety culture. How to get a team AED, first aid, and CPR certified. Now, getting everyone certified isn't exactly a priority, but it's a great way to set your team apart from the rest. You should tend to look to local law enforcement, EMTs, or firefighters for people who are willing and able to certify your team. This person might also be willing to help a nonprofit team of students obtain a certification at a cheaper cost. Now, our team personally goes through HBRB, which qualifies as a 5013 organization, and we were able to get a discount. But overall, you should keep in mind that obtaining a certification is expensive and needs significant planning and coordination, especially in our current circumstances. My computer froze for a bit. Sorry about that. All right. A safety presentation can be presented to the team in order to educate everyone on proper safety procedures. This is a great way to maintain overall team safety. Now, 1073 members are also asked to answer a safety question at every single all hands meeting, which is every Wednesday, and are required to sign a COVID-19 specific shop safety protocol during the pandemic. In addition, our team creates a safety quiz based off of the first safety manual and our personal safety manual before competition season. And the goal of this quiz isn't exactly to challenge students, it's to educate them on core safety practices before competitions. Obviously, we present the safety presentation before giving this quiz, and members are allowed to take this quiz as many times as they would like, but both students and mentors are required to earn a score of 100% to attend any competition or event. So these are some examples of some safety questions that you might find on Team 1073's safety quiz. Number 8, you should definitely run away and panic. No, please don't do that. Tell a safety captain and a mentor if you injure yourself. All right, improving safety culture. FRC teams should always be looking for ways to improve their safety equipment. Now, recently, 1073 incorporated e-stop buttons in our pit. We also are currently in possession of both an AED and a portable eye wash station, and those are used in both our pit and our shop. 1073 typically looks to improve our safety culture by using the dew-point Bradley curve, which I've put here in the presentation, as inspiration. Now, the dew-point Bradley curve is the ultimate organizational tool for businesses and teams to identify what level of safety they're at. So I'll go through the levels here really quickly. And as you can see on the side, the injury rates tend to go down as you progress through the levels. Now, the first level is reactive. So this is basically safety by natural instinct. The second level is the dependent level, that's safety based off of supervision, rules, and procedures. The third level is the independent level, which is based on safety based on personal knowledge and commitment to safety standards. So you yourself are looking out for your own safety. You're not looking out for other people's safety per se, which would be the fourth level, the interdependent. So this is overall team safety, caring for others on your team. This level also also fosters a sense of organizational pride around your team's safety culture, because you're helping others and everyone understands what practices they need to be taking or following. Outreach. Outreach is a large factor in safety culture and in the culture of FIRST. By reaching out to other teams and community members about safety, your team shows that you are a valuable and knowledgeable asset. You show initiative by getting involved within FIRST or otherwise. Many teams create care packages with different first aid kit items and hand those out to teams. This is a great example of different outreach initiatives. So in the past, 1073 would hand out battery spill kits with instructions to other teams who had forgotten theirs or rookie teams who hadn't gotten them yet. In addition, my predecessor, Vicky, would also hold impromptu safety meetings at events that hadn't necessarily coordinated one. Now, if you know safety captains on other teams or would like to know safety captains on other teams, this is a great way to facilitate those relationships and share necessary safety information such as, exit points or fire extinguisher locations. For more information about our safety program, please visit frc1073.org/safety. For additional safety resources concerning 1073's operation during the pandemic, please email alex.h@frc1073.org. Thank you so much. I think we're going to begin transitioning into our Q&A session.